in leadership, a good leader needs to be able to, of course, take the upswings and the downswings. And you and I know you were at Malaysia Airlines when the first tragedy happened, MH370, and I think you were in the bunker for like 90 days.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that time. Was it like the hardest period of your time?
I don't think anybody in aviation ever wants to go through it. And, Malaysia Airlines is a great organization, a great team, and they've got a lot of really passionate people there. What happened there was beyond tragic. And, we lost crew members, we lost friends, we lost family members there. 370 was very, very difficult. And, just in terms of being a part of it, trying to understand what happened, I tell people often, typically in a situation like that, airlines have a playbook and, we've got 7 days. And, for us at Malaysia Airlines, we got to day 8. There is no day 8. And so we had to start writing, what happens next when you can't find an airplane. Dato Fod, who runs their program related to 17 and 370, is a guy who he's amazing what this guy has done in terms of trying to help the airline get through that crisis. You don't want to go through that as an airline executive. It's one of those really tragic, worst case scenarios. I learned a lot from it. I think the whole airline did. The industry learned a lot, to be honest.
You bet.
We learned a lot from that scenario in terms of being able to track aircraft. Those types of incidents make me, force the industry to rethink. And there were a lot of things that came out of that will make the industry better.
Yeah. You're right, the whole industry learned from it. The question was, we can track an Uber, but how can we not track a plane?
Track your cell phone.
Yeah.
Right?
On
your cell phone anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
You can't find a $150 million airplane.
Yeah. How is that even possible?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
It was great learning for the industry, for sure. But those 90 days, did they change you as a person?
They do, because, you go through all of these emotions in terms of, there's one of the things I learned is that was probably one of the biggest events that happened in the modern social media era. So, there were over 13 million impressions. People could say and do whatever they wanted.
There were more rumors than verified facts.
So we kept really encouraging media and the families to always come to us for information. And the reality was anyone could post whatever they wanted. So you would have these completely irresponsible media, making statements about where the aircraft was, what happened to the aircraft without any basis of fact. And that would create hope for these family members who would then think
so hard.
Yeah, that would then think that, the airline is lying to them. And, nothing would have made us happier than to find that airplane with everyone on board and alive. And that just wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And so, what I learned was you could lose control of a situation very quickly within today's social media environment. And, I'd really encourage people to be careful about what you post and take accountability for what you post, particularly media.
Yeah.
I do believe that media has a responsibility and accountability to report on fact and speculation. How many experts were on CNN talking about what happened to that airplane? It was so incredibly disappointing that these people would go on CNN and talk about and speculate while family members were grieving.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part.
I remember being on BBC myself in Singapore, and the news presenter kept asking me, so what do you think happened at the plane? I said, I really cannot comment. That's not my field of expertise.
Yeah.
I'm happy to comment on crisis communications, but she asked me 4 or 5 times, what do you think happened? And sorry, I cannot comment on that.
And that's, to me, that talks about integrity. The fact is, we don't know what happened to that aircraft. We still don't know what happened to that airplane. What, we may never know.
Yeah.
But to speculate, I think, is irresponsible.
I think MH370 was the true invention of the word fake news.
Yes. Yeah.
It's right up there. The whole trend started. Yeah.
But for my career, very few people have gone through something like that. Certainly here in Canada, I learned a lot, and I was able to share with my colleagues here in Canada kind of my experience and what to expect, because no matter how many drills you run, you're never going to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were, of course, in the bunker 90 days. Your family was with you at that time.
Yeah.
Did they come out and support you? And
No. You know what? Megan was in school and where she should be and focused on school. So this really was it was hard on everyone's families. Every single person who was involved. It was very difficult.
In fact, I remember you clearly telling me, which surprised me. You said so many people are thinking about the passengers, but think about the crew who were lost, who were like family to the rest of the Malaysia Airlines.
Yeah, it's a small airline.
Yeah.
And we had lots of crew who got to the point where they would just book off because they were emotionally distraught, and you can't blame them. And so, not just the crew, but the entire airline. It's a small airline, and it's a family, and it's the same here at Rouge. We're a family, and so when something happens to one of us, it happens to all of us, and so you have to be able to embrace the entire organization in situations like this. Obviously, incredibly tragic story for all the passengers, but tragic story for the family members of the crew.
Right. Those are some amazing lessons that you bring, of course, to Air Canada and now to Rouge as well.